So right now it's March 16th, it's 2 days later, and it's about 2 p.m. and I'm going to look around some of the city of Poznań right now and see how many people there are about and what's going on. It's actually a really nice day. It's 55 degrees Fahrenheit, about 13 degrees Celsius. And right now I'm at a Rynek Jeżycki, which is a market in the Jeżyce district of Poznań. And we're going to take a look around a little bit and see what's going on here. So it's not totally empty. There's still people selling things here. And I think people who work here, they really can't take the day off. This is their income. They're not working, they're working for themselves, not for some company. There aren't that many customers. So normally this is something that runs kind of earlier in the day and it kind of closes later. So you see people here, they're buying all kinds of fruit. You can get flowers. I'll say a little bit more about that later. But this is usually a place where you only pay by cash. And even then it looks like there are fewer vendors. I mean, you can get some sort of shirts and things over there. It looks like the pigeons aren't afraid of the coronavirus though. They're having a good time. And this is one way this region is a bit different than the US. You can buy flowers at any time. So during pandemic at 3 a.m. you can find flowers. Everybody here loves flowers, so there are more flower shops you can find. I think this one is maybe closed down, but you can still get plenty of flowers over here. So flowers, not afraid of coronavirus at all. So this is the first time I've seen anything like this. So Rossmann, it's a store where you can buy things like shampoo and toothbrush and hand sanitizer. And there's actually a line to get into Rossmann because there's a maximum of 10 people in the shop. So this says right here, there are at most 10 people allowed in. Looks like there's a similar situation over here to what they had in Rossmann. So it's a pharmacy over there, and they probably have a limit on the number of people they allow in at once. So we have some line to get in. So over here we have what looks like a big gang of pigeons, and I think they didn't get the message about social distancing and being 2 meters apart. The locals generally don't like pigeons. I mean, I think they're cute, but people think they're like flying rats. Right now we're in the dead center of Poznań, and there are cars driving, and I think these are mostly people who couldn't take a home office. This is Baltic. This is the big skyscraper of Poznań, and my gym is in there. The gym I would normally go to is closed. I think all gyms here are closed. Student dormitory, I think they're pretty much under quarantine right now. I think there's a lot of restrictions on what they can do. There's a tram over there. It's hard to see from the video, but there aren't that many people in the tram. One good thing, at least, I think people in Poland have been a lot more careful than in some other countries in terms of actually listening to all the advice about social distancing, staying inside, not touching everything, being careful to wash your hands. We're at the main roundabout of the city next to the tall skyscraper of Poznań. And I want to go towards the old town and see what I can find there during the day. Of course, we saw it was pretty much abandoned at night. And rather than going by foot over the overground across the main roundabout, we go underground. And I was just here. I crossed through here a little bit earlier. Normally you see a bunch of Jehovah's Witnesses here. I think they know it's the end of the world, so they left. They're at home getting ready. But normally you would see them. They would normally be over there. And we do see a couple people, but trust me, this is eerie. I mean, this is, at least to me, because normally, especially this time of day, like, okay, this is more like what you would expect to see at, 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. Because there should be tons of people walking through here right now. But there are at least a few people, so it's not completely abandoned. I think if we came here in the evening, it probably would be, though. I think it's probably just people mostly coming back from work right now. They have to go through here. And this is how we get up to the other side. And these buildings over here, these nice old buildings, these are administrative offices mostly for the University of Adam Mickiewicz, which is where I work. And if we look this way over here, it's a train station. Poznań Główny. And we'll cross the train tracks in a minute. So I think this is even a little more surprising than the area we were just in, because I mean, for sure there's a lot more foot traffic here, and maybe it's just because the university is closed, there's no classes, or I think it's kind of the offices maybe close at noon or something like that. I think that probably reduced a lot of the foot traffic. So I have no idea what they're doing with the trains now. At least here are the train tracks we normally cross. So here are the administrative buildings for the University of Adam Mickiewicz. And here's the man himself, that's Adam Mickiewicz, and he's a famous Polish poet. In the US, I think, as far as I know, it's not typically taught any of his material in school, but he's very well known around here. You know, we mostly studied, you know, Shakespeare or Poe or, you know, whoever else, more from the Anglosphere. And here is a monument. So it says 1956. And what that refers to is there was a big uprising in Poznań against the working conditions imposed by the Soviet Union. And there was something like 100,000 protesters. And I think up to about somewhere between 50 and 100 people were killed, including a 13-year-old boy. But apparently there was at least eventually some long-term success that this led to. Here's a building around the center. There's all kinds of events and concerts and interesting things that happen here. And this is kind of a road that's leading into the old town. I think there's less and less car traffic kind of going in this direction. So we'll see what we find when we get there. This is a monument to the 3 Polish mathematicians that were the first to crack the Enigma code. So it's those 3 guys over there. And they're, as far as I understand it, they're all from Poznań. And they were the first to crack the Enigma code. And anytime you mention Alan Turing or any of his work on the Enigma code, of course, he's more remembered for this. Everyone here is very quick to remind you that, you know, you have these 3 guys. They did this work on this first before what Turing did on it. We're still on our way to the old town. Here we have breakfast, coffee, bakery, food, and good wine. Would normally be open, I'm sure a lot going on today, until 9 or 10. And just like everything else around here, it seems closed until further notice. But maybe the bookstore is open, yeah. So you can't go in there and get wine, but you can go in here and get books if you want to. Ksiągarnia. It's Tania Książki. It says cheap books. So you can buy as many cheap books as you want during the pandemic. So keep it from getting too bored. Can learn Disney English. The first place I found that's open. And by open, I don't mean that you can come in here and really do that much. It's Odwarte na Winos, so you can get a takeaway, so you can get some coffee and go with it, but I don't think you can actually drink it in here. We're getting closer to the old town, and we're going to go to a place called Plac Wolności, and this is stands for Freedom Square in Polish, and they'll have all kinds of events there. That's where they had a Christmas market, a big Ferris wheel with Christmas market. Maybe they'll have an Easter market, depending what happens with the pandemic, and all kinds of other events and gatherings. So it's actually really nice and warmer weather, but we're going to see if there's anything at all going on right now. So here we are. This is Plac Wolności, Freedom Square, and we'll get a little closer in a minute. There's a fountain over there. It's really nice, and it's running when the weather's warmer. Over there somewhere you get, if you're a foreigner here and you want your green card, the equivalent, you go over there. So here we have this fountain. Last time I was here, it was I think around Christmas, and they had a nice big Ferris wheel behind there. You can see the whole city from it. And I think, yeah, when things are a little bit more relaxed, I'm going to give Poznań another go. I'll show what's actually here when things are nicer. And normally there'd be a pool of water here and things coming down and everything. And this leads right into the main part of the old town, which is right ahead there. So this is what I'm really curious to see, what it's like right now. So I do see some people here, so it's not quite as eerie as it was on Saturday night. I mean, Saturday night, you know, there was almost nobody. There was a drunk Polish gopnik, you know, we call him dress in Polish. It's a little bit different of a word. And just a couple other random people. Nice kind of castle in the background. And we're going to be getting to the main square pretty soon. So this is the main square of the old town, and yeah, we do see some people, but I think actually getting in this open space here, it really becomes a little bit eerie because see some people, there's a family, a couple people walking around, but it's normally, I mean, this is really a nice day. It's much warmer than it's been the past few days, and when that happens, usually there's going to be all kinds of people just around here, walking around, enjoying themselves. Sometimes maybe even the restaurants will put something out. Like you see that restaurant over there. They have all these seats out for people to sit when the weather's warmer, and yeah, there's really nothing. So this place is called Just Friends. Normally, when there isn't any coronavirus, this is what you where you take someone when you've been friend zoned and you want to still take her out to eat. But apparently, you can't even do that now. Yeah, I think, are there still people selling souvenirs? So I can't imagine there's really that many tourists now. So Poland has closed its borders. Maybe the only tourists here are stuck here. We'll ask them. We'll see if they're still selling souvenirs here. Dzień dobry. Are you selling souvenirs right now during the pandemic?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is anyone here actually buying them? Because the borders are closed.
Few people only.
Yeah. Oh, what sort of people? I mean, it's
Normal people, but few only.
Maybe you should.
3 people in day only.
So could you maybe get like a magnet that has Poznań on it, but like kind of like a picture of a virus also?
No.
Because okay, I would buy that. So if anyone's watching this right now and you really want to come and get some souvenirs during the pandemic, right behind the old church, you can find these guys, and you can buy some refrigerator magnets. Do you sell postcards?
Yeah, we have also postcards.
You know, that could actually be great to, like, you know, if you're stuck in Poland, to send a postcard to someone. So are you scared of the virus?
I think some. I think. There's some. Oh, my English is terrible.
No one cares. It doesn't matter. My Polish is even worse.
I don't think so.
Yes, and mówię tylko trochę po polsku.
Oh, pięknie.
Yeah, a little, yeah.
Oh, look, you don't have people, yeah?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like we were just discussing, you know, if we're not within 2 meters of someone, it's relatively safe. But still, you know, you're touching this stuff maybe, and someone maybe has the virus and gives it to you.
Nobody touching.
Nobody touching. Okay.
Nobody. If wants to buy, only take and give you a money
I see.
and escape.
Are you worried that there might be the virus on the money?
Putting to the place from the money.
I see.
Like the China style.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Put the money to money.
I see. Makes sense. So we're right in the center of Poznań, the old town of Poznań. It's City Hall, and this is about where we were when we started the video on Saturday night. And yeah, it's still the same thing. Everything, you know, I don't see anything open at all. There are these restaurants here, closed. Green Line, Podkoziołek, closed. I kind of want to have a Corona beer just to have a Corona beer. See, she has a face mask on. The nice statue's still here. So I'm going to go back to where we were going before to, actually I want to head towards Półwiejska, which is normally one of the busiest areas in the whole city. And I want to see how that's changed, if it has at all. So we'll head to Wrocławska on the way to Półwiejska, but I wanted to show these nice buildings here. And normally, beneath there, you could go inside and get some souvenirs. I think that those guys that I just talked to are the only ones selling souvenirs right now. So this is south over here. This will take us to Półwiejska. have a lot of side streets around here. Got a guy delivering food. I'm sure a lot more people are ordering food now than normal. Yeah, let's see, is Costa Coffee open? I did actually see some Starbucks open, maybe it was a couple days ago. And it was very weird seeing people working in Starbucks with rubber gloves on their hands. And for those who don't know, Costa Coffee is kind of like a Starbucks. I don't think I've ever seen it in the US, but it looks to me like it's totally closed. Yeah, looking inside here, I see really nothing. So we're gonna make our way to Wrocławska Street right now, which is just up ahead over there. But really, okay, the thing is, this is a nice, beautiful European old town. You know, I mean, Poland, it's nice. I mean, I wish I was kind of showing this city when it was lively and at its best. But, you know, I think this is important to see as well. Yeah, here we have another restaurant that would normally be open. So if this were a normal day without any pandemic, this would be really nice. There'd be all kinds of people talking. They'd be, you know, drinking some Polish beer, eating some food. Everyone would be walking by. And so normally this is, of course, a very big street for the bars, and there are some people here at least. So this is where we ran into that guy a couple days ago, where he was dancing the coronavirus dance or something, or whatever, and saying that there's no coronavirus, kind of the Polish gopnik. And I think it was somewhere like right over there in the corner up there. So it looks very different during the day. There's a hashtag. Popular at night. Oh yeah, I can actually show this now. It's a little easier to see during the day. We had this, I guess it's probably a hipster coffee shop or something. Proletariat. And it's just like the Lenin head statues I saw in Kharkiv. I don't know if this video is going to be released before that. And I don't know if this is a genuine Lenin head or if it was made for this purpose. Maybe someone can tell me. And so we have Hula Hula, Cuba Libre, and there's a mall, Kupiec Poznańska. I have absolutely no idea if that's open or not. So this is a part of the old town that I always found kind of funny. So right behind me is a weed store. They sell medicinal marijuana, I don't know what. We'll take a closer look. And right next to it is a toy store. So Zabawki means toys. So we have cannabis shop, platinum, CBD, and it says for medicinal use only. And right here we have Zabawki. So what sort of Zabawki? Dzień dobry. Czy mówi pani po angielsku? Yeah. Mówię trochę po polsku, nie rozumiem. Dlaczego trawka jest na prawa zabawki? Zabawki, PS i trawka. Jest bardzo zabawa. Yeah. Oh. Anyways, that definitely means I need to work on my Polish, but we have beautiful girl, we have a dog puzzle, and marijuana right next to it. So if you like the video and you want to see more of Poznań under coronavirus, hit like and subscribe, and we're going to go down to the river, and the Warta River, and check out a few other things in the next video.